Hello.
Hello everyone, welcome to Flower Friday. My name's Amanda.
I'm Sherry.
And we are the mother-daughter designers at Grace Monroe Home, where we help you transform the ordinary front door into an extraordinary front door.
That is right, and we are going to do a really sweet spring wreath for you today because, you know, spring is around the corner.
It is just around the corner and I cannot wait.
Me either.
So let's go ahead and show you what we are working with today.
Yes.
First of all, we have a 14-inch grapevine wreath base.
That's right. And then we've got some beautiful lavender flowers. Aren't those pretty? And just to make it a little different, we're going to throw in some yellow in with this. So, and then we've got several greeneries, so we'll show you those as we go along.
And just look at that combination, the
Isn't that
purple and the
gorgeous?
yellow. Isn't that just so pretty?
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started making our bow. Now, today we're going to make a standard wreath bow. I am using the prettiest burlap style with lace ribbon. We're just going to use one ribbon today. We want it to be just a very simple bow.
Yeah.
Now this is wired ribbon. This is 2.5-inch wired ribbon. And like I said, I do have my bowdabra bow maker for this.
And this is actually a Christmas ribbon, but as you can see, this is something that is perfect year-round. So anytime you see something like that, it's a good thing to get after Christmas when they have the big sales.
Yeah, and I love anything with lace. I think it just makes things, just adds a little elegance
and a
to
little
your
romance.
Yeah, to your projects.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my wire in. Now I am using 26 gauge floral wire. And what I do is I just cut a big long piece. I fold it over right there in the middle, so I've got a loop on one end and then I've got my two open ends. And I put it down into my bowdabra and tuck it under, just like this. And I actually had already
had one.
I already had a piece in there. I didn't realize I already had one in there. So you just make sure it's tucked under just like that and just lay it flat. Now I already actually have my tails cut, and these are cut at, let's see, actually I did not measure them.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, but we will see.
And I will see for you. Let's see.
I just kind of eyeballed it.
30 inches.
30 inches, yeah. There you go.
So these are, you know, a little bit long, but they're perfect. So I'm going to put them right there. I'm going to put it right there in the center. And I kind of just pull on it, make sure it's even. And just like that. Okay. And now when I'm making these bows on the bowdabra, I always make sure that my pretty pattern side is face down. So I press it down in there, and I've got about 1 inch over here on my left hand side. And I'm going to make a 6-inch loop, and for me, from my thumb to my pinky is approximately 6 inches. I don't measure. It does not have to be perfect, but around 6 inches works for this. And now I'm going to twist and make another loop. Now, if you want to be precise and if you want to measure yours, you definitely could. You could use a measuring mat or just use your measuring tape or a ruler, but I'm not that precise.
After you've made millions of bows,
it seems like millions.
Yeah, it does. You can kind of eyeball it.
Yeah, and what I do to make sure they're even, I just pull them up just like that and make sure that they're even. So now I twist again, make another loop, and I just use the one right in front of it. And I kind of pull it out like that to measure it and make sure that they're even. And do the same thing. You just twist and loop.
Oops, that's going to be the last of that roll.
Twist and loop. Alright, that's why I had an extra one, because I was afraid that we did not have enough on that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I do here, let's see, I may have enough. Let's see. Yes, look at that, guys. Perfect. Yeah. Okay, let's see. How much more do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
On each side?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did 6 on that.
Yeah, 6 on that one. Yeah.
So this one actually needs 2 more loops. So when you have to start over with a new roll, you just take your pattern side, put it flat down just like that. Now I'm having to do it opposite because I have 1 extra loop on this side. And now I'm going to make my loop, okay? And now I'm going to do my last 2 loops exactly the same way like I've been doing the whole time. 6 inches. These loops are all the same size. Okay, so I've got 6 on each side, so this is going to be a 12 loop bow. So now what I do, cut off my extra because I'm done with that. Whoops, almost came flying out. So this is what it looks like in the bowdabra, just like that. So when you take it out of the bowdabra, you want to make sure, and this is very important, you want to make sure you keep a finger on your ribbons
in the middle
at all times, because if you don't, they will all go flying out.
Yes.
So what I do is I keep my thumb right there in the center, pull it up, put my 2 ends right through the loop, just like that, and kind of wiggle back and forth. Okay, so I press down a little bit just to make sure, and wiggle back and forth to make sure that we're getting that really tight. Then I split open my 2 ends, pull them around the back here, and then twist them a good 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, you want that to be really, really tight so that you can pull those loops to get it like you want it.
So this is what it looks like when you take it out of the bowdabra. And so now we're going to fluff it. To do that, and you're going to do this whether you're using 2, 3, 4, 5 different ribbons or just one ribbon, you're going to do it the same exact way, and you just pull one loop one way, just take your hand like that in the center, and one loop that way. Okay, and this is just going to kind of distribute all of your loops evenly around so that you've got a nice pretty bow. And it does take a minute to get things where you want them.
Yeah.
But that is okay. Now I've got this this piece that's a little bit longer than I like, so I'm just going to cut that off right there in the center. Okay, so now we're going to attach it to our grapevine wreath. Now this is a crescent style wreath, which means we're going to have a seat. We're only going to use part of the actual grapevine.
That is right. But it's still going to be very full and beautiful.
Yeah. So when you get your, and the thing is, I'm fluffing this now, but I'll have to go back and I'll have to refluff it several times.
Yes.
Because
you're going to mash it as you're going around and putting your other flowers. So it's always good to fluff it several times.
Now I'm attaching it for this wreath right at about 10 o'clock. So kind of towards the top, because I want to make sure that I have plenty of room for all of my flowers.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go ahead and start greening my wreath, and I'm using this beautiful grass. I love using this, especially for this particular style that we're going to be doing, and because it's got the 2 separate kinds of grass in it. So and you can get this at Walmart. This particular one actually came from Pioneer Wholesale, but you can get it at I said Walmart. Yes, I have seen it at Walmart, but you can also get it at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, most craft stores carry something similar. You just want a real grassy looking greenery.
Yes. Now I'm going to start, I'd say at about the 2 o'clock position, putting my greenery in. So I'm going to just be going around the outside. I put my first one there, and then I'm going to go ahead right here at about the 5 o'clock position and put my second piece.
Okay, and you kind of want these to go in at an angle.
Yes.
Because you're going to want to carry around your C shape.
Exactly. Okay. So now, once I put my top and my bottom with this particular one, then I just go ahead and go around the outside, just like I'm doing.
And I'd say we've got about, and I'll actually measure it for you, we've got about 4 inches between each bundle of grass.
Now your center one, you want to be for that one to be a little higher than your other 2. Because that's going to give you that height on your C as you're coming around. So you definitely want that to be a little bit higher. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these off so that I don't have to do that. Okay. So I'm just going to continue on around. Just like that.
And if you are working on a wreath right now, we would love to hear in the comments what you're working on.
Exactly.
It's only January, but we're already working on
spring and Easter.
And I don't know about y'all, but once Christmas is over, I am ready for spring.
Me too. That's when I start thinking of spring and fun designs and all of that. Now I'm still just coming right around. And
actually, I wish I had one more of these. Because I have a little bit. Do we have any more?
Here.
Take one more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and you see that just like I had this one a little higher, my bottom one that matches that one, I'm going to have it a little lower down as well. You can see the way that I've left about 1 inch on the stem, even though I've got all of the green pushed at the top, because just like we do all of our greenery, we push everything to the top. And then I've got about 1 inch there.
I love this lavender that we're going to be using, and Walmart has some really great lavender for very inexpensive.
Yes, it does.
So I love to stock up on their lavender.
Okay, I've got one extra piece. I think I'm going to put that right here around the back. Okay, so that's how we have framed our crescent, just like we wanted. And this gives us our height and tells us actually how large we want to make it. So now we are going to...
We're going to go with the lavender next, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Got to get it all out.
And we are actually using a glue skillet. If you don't have a glue skillet, that's okay. You can use your glue gun.
Actually, let's do the yellow next, because I'm going to want to put the lavender in between. So I need to see... So actually we have this pretty, I love this little bush. It's got the little yellow buds on the end, and we're going to push that all the way around. Now in order to have enough, this has got several of the greenery, and it's got like 2 stems on each side, so we're just going to cut these in the middle so that we can use more of them. And when we do that, we're going to take this in, so we don't want everything to come flying off. So we're just going to bend that over just like that, and that way we've got a whole another stem.
Yeah, and you can use your wire cutters to do that. But like I was saying, we are dipping ours in a glue skillet, but if you don't have one, you can use a glue gun.
Yeah. Now I put my first one right below, just almost touching, but right below my greenery right there. And my next one that I cut off of that one, I'm going to actually put in between my 2 greeneries. Just like that. And that's going to give that the fullness that I'm looking for around the outside. And but it's also going to give it some color too. So I'm going to cut every one of my pieces like this and just bend down the piece that I cut so that nothing can come off.
And it gives it that really wispy kind of look that we're going for this wreath.
Yes, it does. And you see, just like we put the greenery, we're putting it in at an angle so that it all flows like our greenery is flowing. Love this. This is so pretty.
Yeah, this is pretty. And I really like the yellow and purple combination.
I do too. It's not one you see a whole lot, and I actually really, really do like it. Okay.
I think we're going to have just enough.
That's what I'm hoping. That is what I'm hoping.
Pulled mine a little too hard.
Uh-oh.
Okay, popped it all right off.
You had to put it back together. Okay. This is, like I said, this is just kind of adding just the right bit of color around the outside.
And it's going to tie in the bigger yellow and purple flowers.
Yes, it is.
That we're going to use in just a little while.
But a lot of times you'll see, you know, good greenery and things like that, or even just flowers, and you can take them apart and have more of them by doing that, which of course is going to save you money.
Hey, and who doesn't love to save money?
Love to save
I know I do.
money. Okay, so we've got ours all the way around the outside. So now let's add some lavender. And you see, what we are doing is we are literally working from the outside coming in. So now we're going to take some of our lavender, and this is actually going to come around the next row after we've got this. So this is going to come in right about there, and we're just going to add bits and pieces.
And, you know, if you're not into big flowers, you could just fill this up with the greenery, the lavender, and it would look beautiful.
It really would. I love that wispy look of it. All right, now I put 2 there, so I'm going to go ahead in my bottom and do the same thing because I want to make sure I don't have as much of this, so I want to make sure that I have it spread all around. Let's see, I need to move that over just a little bit. There we go. And this one's going to go right up here in the top. And then this one on the bottom. So it's like we've got a whole nother layer of our lavender.
And really, that's what we're doing. We're layering. We start by greening, and that's our base layer.
Yep.
And we just kind of layer from there.
Now I'm going to do like I tell y'all all the time, to make sure to put stuff behind your bow. And I have put my greeneries and my yellow flower. Now I'm going to put my lavender right behind my bow. Just like that. Now I've got some extra if you need it.
You don't need any
there,
right now.
I think. I may put one more little piece. Let's see.
I have one extra piece, so I'm going to save that.
I'm going to save mine in case I need it too.
Later.
I've got one extra too. Okay.
So we have these gorgeous yellow roses,
Aren't
and these
they
are from
At Home.
At Home. So if you have an at-home store, they have some really pretty flowers at really reasonable prices.
Yes, they do. I was really surprised at the prices. Okay, now we've got our pretty lavender hydrangeas, and these actually came from Michael's. And we are going to frame our bow with these. So I'm going to take the first one, I'm going to put it right here down at the bottom.
You want to make sure you keep these stems pretty long for this. Because you are going to kind of scoot them down at the bottom, but you don't want them to be covered up by the loops of the bow.
Right. And now I'm going to put one at the top. And you see I am putting it in at an angle. So it's just right there, just barely touching my bow. And now this one is going to go behind my bow. And like I said, we are framing the bow, so we've got it just like that.
Well, it's already looking so pretty.
I know. I love this.
And I love purple, so
I do too.
Of course I'm going to love this wreath.
Yep. When she was growing up, she had a purple bedroom.
I had purple everything.
Yep.
I love purple.
Yes, she did. She had
And
purple walls,
I
and believe
can't say
me,
that I want purple walls, but it still is one of my favorite colors.
Yep. She always loved that. Now we've got these beautiful, I guess these are cabbage roses. Aren't they pretty? So. They are so
and these
pretty.
are also from Michael's. They're in the spring, I believe, spring
Yep,
stem
they're in the
section.
spring stems. And I got to get the price off of them. And they do not make that easy, but we'll get it off here. Okay.
Okay, now and these come with a, they have the big bloom, and then
They've got the
they have a little tiny bloom. We're not going to keep those together, are we? Or,
no, we're going to take those apart.
That's what I thought. We'd split those.
We are going to take that, so I'm taking my pretty little purple one, and I'm just going to have it coming right here, almost like it's just kind of dropping off the edge of my wreath right there. And this one, you see I've got my stem long. I'm going to put this one right up in the middle behind my bow. So I want to leave it long if I can get it in here. And just bend it forward. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead, since I put one of these, I'm going to go ahead and add my second one. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take off the little bud. And just cut that off.
And these are great stems to save. We save a lot of these really good thick stems because we use them. If you've got a glue skillet, they're great for dipping in glue.
They're great for that.
They're great for making picks with fruit and things. So definitely, if you get any of these really nice stems and you plan to make wreaths or arrangements in the future, save these.
Yes. Now I put my little bud right here on the end.
What did I do with my bud? I lost it. There it is.
Oh, I was fixing to say, what in the world?
Lost my little bud.
And now this one I'm going to have at the bottom here. So I'm just going to kind of go up under all of my stuff. And I'm kind of just going to let it fall. It's falling towards the center, just like that. So even though I put it in right up here, I'm just kind of letting it fall where it wants to. So just like that. Okay. So now let's take our yellow roses. These are so pretty too.
And if you just love purple and you don't want to use another color, you could just fill it up with purple too.
You could just do it with purple, but
I think it would be really pretty that way
I think
also.
it would, but I just kind of love the yellow with it too. So I'm just going to bring in one of my yellow ones, and I actually left the bud on this one since it's a little tiny bud and a little bit of a bigger bud, just like that. I may cut those leaves off, but right now I'm going to leave them. And then you've got this pretty rose. I'm going to put my leaf back on because it came off.
Let's see. Yours has two little buds.
Yeah, mine
on
has
yours.
two. Have you got one that's... Yeah, there's...
That's a little one though. I don't, yeah, there
it is. Yeah. I was thinking you should have it. There we go. Okay. So this one I'm going to put up here in the top. But I'm going to bend it so that everything is kind of following our line. Just like that.
Oh, those colors look so great together.
Don't they? I am loving these colors. Now I'm going to cut this one, and it's got a little, these have cute little buds on them too, so I'm just going to leave those on. I'm going to put this one right here on the end like that.
Pretty, pretty.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've got another little bud that's got it's got actually two little buds on it. So I am going to put this one straight down here. So I'm going up a little ways and I'm going to put it straight down. I'm just going to let that fall straight down. But I'm taking my thumb and just pushing the head of it, of the bud, forward just a little bit. So just like that. Now I've got one more of my little yellow roses. So I'm going to put this on the inside of my bow. I'm going to move it around and put it right here on the inside. Just like that.
And you always, and I know if you've watched just before, you know we always say this, but you always want things on the outside of your bow, around the outside and the inside, because that's just going to help your bow to really stand up and hold its shape, so it's not floppy in the wreath. So you really want to fill in both areas behind your bow on either side.
Yes, that is so, so, so important, and it's one thing that I see when I'm looking at people's wreaths that they tend to leave off the most. So it is definitely something we recommend you doing, because it just helps that bow to stand up so, so pretty. I love that. Okay, now we have our pretty little flowers here. This is another little purple bush, so I'm going to use just a few of these.
And I really like these because they have the cute little yellow centers that kind of pull it all together.
Pull it all together, that's right. All right, so I'm gonna put these in my bow. So I just come in to where the grapevine is and I push it in, but I leave it out enough so that I can bring my loops around it, because I want it to look like these are growing out of my bow. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom, just like that. Take this piece off. Now I'm going to come over to the side and put it in the grapevine. Now you can glue directly to your bow, but to me they just hold so much better if I put it in that grapevine. And if you do your loops like we do, there's no reason that you can't pull the loops back into the bow position like you want, but have the flowers in them, just like that.
And you can really put as many or as few, you know, as you want throughout the bow. If you like a whole lot, you can put it, you can just fill them up, and if you don't want as many, you can leave them out.
Exactly.
Just kind of make it your own.
That's exactly right. This one, some of my flowers must have fallen off, so I just clip off wherever they were at that that they're missing. And I'm gonna
I just really love the way this is turning out, though.
I do too. I am loving it too. Okay, now I have some more yellow because we still need to tie in the yellow a little more with our lavender. So this is a little boxwood, but the little berries on it are yellow. So I am going to add that next, and this actually came from Michael's. So I'm going to put this in between, just wherever I need to add something to fill in. So just like that. You're putting in some of your little things.
Yeah, I haven't quite finished with
Yeah,
those.
I didn't put any of those, but I am going to.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know. I just kind of mixed it up.
I was just kind of waiting till I finish, but there we go.
So all we're doing now is we're just kind of filling up holes.
Yep, that's exactly what we're doing.
Anywhere
that there is a hole.
Or that you see a big piece of the grapevine showing, you can just add some of that.
And now it's okay to have some of your grapevine showing, a little bit peeking through. There's nothing in the world wrong with that. But you just don't want big sections of it showing unless you're going for that look. So that's why we're using our boxwood and berries to cover up any of those places.
And I love this because it has the little yellow berries on it, but any kind of boxwood would really work.
It sure would.
The kind from Hobby Lobby.
Yes.
Would be great. You could definitely
Or you could
that.
change it up if you didn't want the color, the yellow in. You could use even eucalyptus or anything like that. But I kind of like the little pops of color. Put one right in here. Turn it this way so that I can see what I need to add and get my little loops like I want them.
Oh yeah, I really like this one. This would be great too. You can, anytime you have these crescent style wreaths, they are great on double doors.
Yes, they are.
So if you have double doors, this is a great kind of wreath to make for that.
It really is. And you could do them whichever way you wanted. You could do them both exactly the same, or you could have them going the opposite.
You can mirror them,
whatever, you could mirror them, whichever one you wanted. It's all preference. So I'm just making sure I've got it evenly distributed all throughout.
And I know we have so many of you ask us every single video about our wire cutters.
Yes.
We use Stanley 8-inch wire cutters. These we actually got at Walmart. I think you can get them on Amazon, like maybe Sears or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
But they're just usually in the tool department. Also, another great brand is Irwin.
Yes.
So
like
if you can find either one of those, they're great.
You just want to make sure that you get a good regular tool, not something,
not the floral,
not the floral kind that you see, because those just do not seem to want to cut the stems like you need to cut them. So we do not recommend that. So now I've still got a few more of these, so I'm going to go ahead and add some of those.
Any kind of little small wildflowers would work for this too.
They
These actually came from at home also.
They did.
So most of what we use today came from either
Michael's
or at home. But any kind of little wildflowers. You could even use little white ones if you wanted to.
Yes, you could.
If you can't find purple.
And again, what I'm doing is I'm just filling in holes. I just left a few of these so that I could fill in anywhere that I felt like that we needed something.
My little leftover piece of lavender I think I'm going to add here to the top of mine.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's one piece. I don't want to waste it. So
You don't
might as well use it.
No. We don't want to waste anything. Never, never.
I think that this would be really pretty too, and I don't know that we have any that would match, but
What's that?
if you had a little bird, I don't have any purple ones.
Yeah,
or yellow right off the bat. Oh, that was kind of
I thought we had a...
But if you had a little bird, that would look so cute.
Yes.
In this one, with it being spring.
Or little butterflies.
Oh, wait, I do have a yellow one.
I thought we had some yellow ones. That's what I was thinking.
I think that would be really cute.
I'm going to use my last little piece of lavender. I'm going to put that right in here.
Let me add this. I like little critters. Anytime that I can use some of these little critters, birds, ladybugs.
Yeah, I love any of that.
I think they're pretty.
And I'm going to use my last, because I am determined I'm using every bit of this. So, and you know, anytime like these, I was missing a couple of the little buds. So I just cut off the place where they were supposed to be. And that way it does not look like you're missing anything. So I'm going to take one of mine and I'm just going to fill in this little spot right here. And just kind of add that right in there. And I think I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. Just like that. And now with your tails, we could actually curl our tails if we wanted to, like this, or you could roll them if you wanted to do that.
Or you could leave them straight, either
or
one.
You could leave them straight.
I think I might
So
just leave mine
I'm
straight.
leaving mine straight, I think.
Well, I love the lace, and I don't want to kind of have that covered up.
That's
It's
what
so
I
pretty.
was thinking. So, but there we go. And look how sweet that is.
Yeah.
And now, as always, we would have to go to the back and we cut off all of these stems, because as you see, they are in the back, and we just cut each one off.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you have the flat side of the wire cutters right up against the grapevine.
Exactly.
So you get them really close. And
yeah.
And because you don't want anything sharp that could scratch your door.
Exactly. So just make sure to get all of those cut off, and then
a little trick, if you have glue boogers, I call them glue boogers.
Yes,
those are the little
and we have them always.
Strands of glue. You can just take your blow dryer and just blow over it on a low setting.
Low setting, yes. And get rid of all of those. But there you go.
Fun.
Isn't that pretty?
perfect for spring.
This definitely is
getting me in the spring mood.
It is, and I agree. I think we need some butterflies, so I'm going to have to find some butterflies to go on here, or birds or something.
Yeah, little critters.
That'd be so sweet.
A little bird down here, but you could put butterflies, ladybugs, anything.
Yes.
So we're going to make this really pretty spring wreath, and then we're going to walk outside in the freezing cold.
I know, because it is cold here right now for us southern people. Now, I know some of you are probably like, oh, my goodness, it's not cold here.
It's not that cold.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's cold for us.
Yep. But there we go.
Well, this was so much fun, and I hope that you have enjoyed this as much as we have.
Yes.
If you are following us on Facebook, make sure that you like our page and that you are actually following our page. And we're live every Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time for Flower Friday Live. So please check us out next week.
That's right. And make sure to go to our website at www.gracemonroehome.com and go to the blog and look at all the tutorials we've got and all kinds of things that will keep you busy.
Yes, we have
if
a lot.
You go over there and look. A lot of free content there for you, so make sure to go check that out.
Definitely. We have lots of fun stuff to keep you busy.
Yes, we do.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, y'all be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the little bell so that you get notified when we release new videos.
That's right. This has been fun.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for joining us today, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.